Right now, somewhere in the world, an English learner is making a choice, speak or talk, and getting it wrong. And the painful part, nobody around them corrects it. They just feel something is slightly off. That stops today.
Sarah, that hits close to home. I used to say things like, "Can I speak with you for a minute?" and "Let me speak about my weekend." And I honestly thought they were both perfectly natural.
One of those is perfectly natural. The other one makes native speakers pause, just for a fraction of a second.
And I had no idea which was which.
Which is exactly why we are here. Welcome back to Talk Sarah Daily, the channel where we take the words that confuse you every single day and we make them simple, clear, and natural to use. I'm so happy you're here with us.
And today, speak and talk. Two words that look like they mean exactly the same thing. And in many languages, they do translate to the same word. So learners naturally assume they are interchangeable in English.
But they are not. There is a real difference. And once you see it clearly, you will never second guess these two words again.
By the end of this episode, you will know exactly when native speakers choose speak and when they choose talk. You will understand the feeling behind each word, not just the grammar rule, but the instinct.
Before we dive in, we have a question for you right now. Which word do you use more, speak or talk? Do you even notice a difference? Tell us in the comments. We read every single one, and your answers genuinely help us understand what learners need.
And please subscribe to Talk Sarah Daily if you haven't already. We are here every single day with a lesson just like this one. It is free and it makes a real difference to your English.
All right, let's solve this. Let's go. Let's start with speak. And the single most important thing to understand about speak is this. It is more formal. It places focus on the speaker, on the person producing the words.
Focus on the speaker. What does that mean exactly?
When you speak, the spotlight is on you, your voice, your words going out. It is slightly one-directional. There's a sense of formality, of distance, of one person addressing another or others.
Like in a speech?
Exactly. The president will speak tonight. One person, one voice. Words going out to many. That is the feeling of speak. It doesn't require the other person to respond.
And we use speak with languages, right? I speak French. She speaks 3 languages.
Yes, always speak for languages. This is one of the clearest rules. Do you speak English? Never do you talk English. That would sound very unusual to a native speaker.
Why speak for languages and not talk?
Because speaking a language is a skill, an ability. The focus is on your capability, your output. Speak captures that. I speak Portuguese means I have the ability to produce that language. Talk is about the activity of conversing, which is different.
That is a really clean distinction. Let me try some language sentences. He speaks 4 languages. That's impressive.
Perfect and completely natural.
Do you speak any other languages besides English?
Beautiful. Exactly how a native speaker would ask that.
She doesn't speak Italian very well yet, but she's learning.
Wonderful. Ability, skill, output. Always speak for languages.
Now, what about formal situations? You said speak feels more formal.
Yes, in professional environments, offices, hospitals, government, business, speak is the more natural choice. May I speak to the manager, please? On a phone call, that is the standard formal phrase. Not, may I talk to the manager? That exists, but it is more casual.
Could you please speak with my colleague about the contract?
Perfect. Professional, formal, appropriate.
What about speeches and presentations? She will speak at the conference tomorrow.
Exactly right. A keynote speaker, a person giving a speech, a lecturer. Speak. One person addressing an audience. The words go out. They don't necessarily come back in conversation. Yes, we need to speak. With that exact tone, that is quite serious. It signals a formal, important conversation is coming. I need to speak with you about something. There's weight to that sentence.
Now, what about speak to versus speak with? Both seem to use speak. Is there a difference?
Great observation. Speak to is very slightly more one-directional. You are addressing someone. Speak with implies a more mutual exchange. You and that person together. But in everyday use, both are natural, and the difference is very small. Don't overthink it.
One quick phrase, speak up. That is a very common one.
Yes, speak up means talk louder or express your opinion. Could you speak up? I can't hear you. Or don't be afraid to speak up in meetings. Both very natural everyday uses.
And speak out, like expressing your opinion publicly?
Exactly. She spoke out against the new policy. Formal, public, one-directional statement. Very speak.
Okay, let's lock in the speak feeling for everyone listening. Speak is more formal, focuses on the speaker and their ability. Use it for languages, professional settings, speeches, and formal requests. Can you think of a time you needed to speak formally? Write it in the comments.
Love that challenge. Now, talk. And this is where everyday English really lives. Talk is the casual, conversational, warm side of this pair. If speak puts the spotlight on the speaker, talk puts the spotlight on the conversation itself.
The conversation, not just one person?
Right. Talk suggests a back and forth, two or more people exchanging. There is connection happening. It is informal, friendly, relaxed. This is the word for everyday life.
So right now, you and I are talking.
Exactly. We are having a conversation together, back and forth, relaxed. That is talk. We are not giving speeches. We are not addressing an audience formally. We are talking.
And our listeners are listening to us talk.
Perfect. Now, talk to and talk with. Both are extremely common.
I talked to my mom last night.
Very natural. Casual, personal conversation. I need to talk to you about something. Less serious than speak. More everyday.
Let's talk about what happened.
Yes, talk about is one of the most useful phrases in English. We talk about topics, situations, people, events. We talked about our plans for the weekend. Have you talked about this with your partner? Very natural and very common.
What about talk about for general topics? Like when you want to discuss something informally.
Always talk about for that. Let's talk about the problem. Can we talk about your idea? Informal discussion, conversation, back and forth.
What about some really common everyday phrases with talk?
So many. Small talk, the light, casual conversation you have with someone you don't know well. At a party, in an elevator, before a meeting. Can we talk? Simple, everyday request for a conversation.
We need to talk? I hear that one and it always sounds a little scary.
It does. It signals something important is coming. But it still feels more personal and less formal than we need to speak. The stakes feel slightly lower with talk. More human.
What about talk someone into something or talk someone out of something?
Great ones. She talked me into trying the new restaurant. She convinced me through conversation. He talked his friend out of quitting the job. He used conversation to change the person's mind. These are very natural, everyday phrases.
And talk back? Don't talk back to your parents.
Yes, responding disrespectfully in conversation. Very common phrase with talk.
What about talk show? Like television talk shows?
Perfect example of talk as casual conversation. A talk show is built around conversations. Interviews, discussions, back and forth. Not speeches, not formal addresses. Conversations. Very talk.
Talking of which? I hear this phrase in British English.
Yes, talking of which is a transition phrase, meaning since we are on this subject. We should visit Paris sometime. Talking of which, have you ever been to France? Very natural conversational phrase.
And I think one of the most important distinctions is talk doesn't need a language after it. You can't say, I talk French.
Never. Languages always go with speak. I speak French. I talk French does not exist in English. That is the most clear grammar rule in this pair.
All right, let's lock in talk for everyone listening. Talk is informal, conversational, back and forth. Use it for everyday conversations, casual discussions, personal exchanges. Talk about for topics. No languages after talk, ever. Write a sentence using talk in the comments. Tell us something you love talking about.
Now we need to see speak and talk working side by side, because that is where the real understanding happens. Now let's put speak and talk directly next to each other in real situations, because seeing the contrast is where everything clicks.
Same situation, two different words, two different feelings?
Exactly. Ready?
Ready.
Situation 1. You call a company and someone answers the phone. Which sentence sounds natural? Option A, could I speak to the sales department, please? Option B, could I talk to the sales department, please?
Option A feels more natural, more professional, more formal.
Yes. Speak is the standard for formal phone requests. Option B isn't completely wrong, but it sounds slightly casual for that situation. Could I speak to someone about my account? That is textbook correct English.
Situation 2. You see your friend in the corridor at work. Option A. Hey, can we speak later? Option B. Hey, can we talk later?
Option B is much more natural here. Casual, friendly, between equals. Can we talk later? Sounds like two people who know each other well. Can we speak later in that context would feel slightly stiff.
So the relationship and the setting both affect the choice.
Completely. Formal setting, formal relationship. Speak. Casual setting, personal relationship. Talk. Now let's try a sensitive situation.
Okay.
A manager calls an employee into the office and says, Option A, I need to speak with you about your recent performance. Option B, I need to talk with you about your recent performance.
Both feel possible, but option A sounds more serious, more formal, more official.
Exactly. I need to speak with you from a manager signals something important and formal is happening. I need to talk with you is also possible, but feels slightly softer. The choice of speak versus talk changes the tone of the entire situation.
What about this one? She is very quiet. She doesn't speak much. Versus she is very quiet. She doesn't talk much.
Both are natural here, but they have a subtle difference. She doesn't speak much focuses on her output, how often she produces words. She doesn't talk much focuses on her social behavior, how often she engages in conversation. Slightly different picture of the same person.
Fascinating. What about teaching situations? The teacher spoke about the French Revolution versus the teacher talked about the French Revolution.
Both work, but with different feelings. Spoke about, the teacher addressed the class, delivered information, perhaps more lecture style. Talked about, the teacher and students discussed it together, more conversational. Speak emphasizes the teacher's role. Talk emphasizes the exchange.
So speak sounds like a lecture, talk sounds like a discussion.
Perfect way to remember it. Now, here is the most useful contrast for everyday life. Can I speak to someone versus can I talk to someone?
Speak, formal request. Talk, casual request.
The phrase itself does not change. The word you choose changes the entire feeling of the request. This is the power of understanding speak and talk deeply.
I want to do a quick challenge for everyone. Right now, think of a situation from your life this week. Were you speaking or talking? Was it formal or casual? Was it one person addressing another or a back and forth conversation? Write it in the comments. We want to see your real life examples.
Real-life examples are the best way to make this stick. If you have made it to this point, and you clearly have, you already understand speak and talk better than most learners ever do. What comes next is where we fix the mistakes that everyone makes with these words, and they will surprise you.
Mistake time. And I want to say before we start, every single one of these mistakes is something I have heard from real learners. These are not invented examples. They are real.
Mistake number 1.
Using speak in casual situations where talk is expected. I was speaking with my friends at the cafe yesterday. It is not wrong, but it sounds stiff and formal. The natural version is I was talking with my friends at the cafe. Casual situation, personal relationship, talk is the natural choice.
Speak sounds like you were giving a formal address. Talk sounds like you were chatting over coffee.
Exactly. Mistake 2. Using talk for languages. I talk Spanish. This does not exist in English. Languages need speak every single time. I speak Spanish. Do you speak Japanese? She speaks 3 languages. Never talk for languages. Non-negotiable rule.
No exceptions there. What is mistake 3?
They were talking about the same topic. This is correct. They were speaking about the same topic. Also technically correct, but sounds overly formal for a casual situation. Most learners swing too far towards speak because they think it sounds more sophisticated. But talk about is the natural, everyday choice for discussing topics.
Speak about exists, but sounds like a formal address. The professor will speak about climate change at the conference. Talk about is for normal conversation. Let's talk about what happened.
Beautiful distinction. Mistake 4. Forgetting about talk show and using speak show. Nobody says speak show. The program is a talk show because it is built on conversation. Similarly, small talk, not small speak. Pep talk, not pep speak. These are fixed expressions. You cannot swap the word.
Fixed expressions must be memorized exactly as they are. Talk is the word in those phrases. No substitution.
Mistake 5, and this is a subtle one. Let me speak you something. Wrong on 2 levels. First, speak does not take a direct person as its object like that. Second, the correct construction would be either let me talk to you about something or let me speak to you about something. Speak needs a preposition. Speak to, speak with. It does not take a direct object.
I spoke him. Wrong. I spoke to him. Right. Always a preposition between speak and the person.
And the same for talk. I talked him. Wrong. I talked to him or I talked with him. Right. Both words need prepositions before the person.
These 5 mistakes cover the most common errors. And now that you have seen them, you will notice when you are about to make them. That awareness is everything.
You are doing so well, truly. These distinctions are not simple, but you are getting them. Now, let's practice.
Practice time. I'll give you a situation and 2 options. Say your answer out loud right now, even if you're alone. Your brain learns faster when your mouth is involved.
Let's do it.
Situation 1. You are at a formal business dinner. You want to ask your host if you can discuss the project. Option A, could we speak about the project after dinner? Option B, could we talk about the project after dinner?
Option A, speak, is more formal and appropriate for a business dinner setting.
Both work, but speak carries the right professional weight for that situation. Good.
Situation 2, you are messaging a friend about something that happened. Option A, we need to speak. Option B, we need to talk.
Option B, casual, personal, everyday. We need to talk between friends is natural. We need to speak would feel surprisingly formal from a close friend.
Situation 3, someone asks you about your language skills. Option A, I talk a little German. Option B, I speak a little German.
Option B, always and forever. Speak for languages. Non-negotiable.
Situation 4, a teacher addresses the class. Option A, I want to speak about something important today.
Option B, I want to talk about something important today.
Both work here, but option A, speak, suggests the teacher is going to address the class more formally. Option B, talk, suggests a more open discussion. Neither is wrong. Context decides which fits best.
If you got all 4 right, write 4 over 4 in the comments right now. And if one tripped you up, write which one and why. That reflection is real learning.
Now here is your challenge. Create one sentence using speak and one using talk about your own life. Different situations. Drop them both in the comments below. We read every single one. Every single one. Speaking and talking both matter. Now, go use them.
What an episode! Leo, do you feel like speak and talk finally feel different to you now?
Completely different. I feel like I have been treating 2 separate tools like they are the same thing my entire learning journey.
That is exactly the right analogy. They are different tools. Let's do our final summary, because hearing it one more time makes it permanent.
Main point 1. Speak is more formal. It places focus on the speaker and their ability. Use it for languages, professional settings, formal requests, speeches, and one-directional addressing. I speak French. May I speak to the manager? She will speak at the conference.
Main point 2. Talk is more casual and conversational. It places focus on the exchange between people. Use it for everyday conversations, casual discussions, personal interactions. Let's talk about it. I was talking to my friend. We need to talk.
Main point 3. Both words need prepositions before a person. Speak to someone, speak with someone. Talk to someone, talk with someone. Never speak or talk someone directly without a preposition.
And the golden rule that never changes. Languages always use speak, never talk. I speak English, Spanish, and a little French. That rule is forever.
The simplest way to remember everything. If it feels formal or professional, choose speak. If it feels casual or conversational, choose talk. When in doubt, feel the formality.
Our reflective question for you today? Think of one formal situation and one casual situation from your week. Which word fits each? Write both in the comments. We want to see your real-life thinking.
And if this episode helped you, please like this video and share it with one person who also mixes up speak and talk. And subscribe to Talk Sarah Daily. We are here every single day. You are not bad at English. You are learning. And today, you learned something that most learners never fully understand. Be proud of that. See you next time.